Welcome to another edition of the Inways Variety Channel. I'm your host, Brian Mullaney, and today, as a part of the Halloween season, I will be doing my review of Dorney Park's Halloween Haunt. If you've been on the fence about whether or not you wanted to go to this haunted attraction this year, I will be giving you a brief overview of the park and what to expect when you show up. From prices, the dates, when you'll be able to show up, and generally what to expect when you get there. I won't go too in-depth into any of the haunted attractions, although if you do have any specific questions about any of the haunted attractions, you could definitely let me know about it in the comments below. So every year, Dorney Park closes down the usual attraction to reopen as the Dorney Park Halloween Haunt. All they do is basically just give the park a big, expensive makeover with all these crazy effects and stuff like that. A lot of it is actually very well done and very well intended for Dorney Park, and definitely reflects how much money they make every year from all the people coming to their park. Some of the stuff is a little lame, but you know, it's a kids park at the end of the day, so I will be bearing that in mind when I do this review, that at the end of the day it is really an attraction for, you know, young teenagers and kids and families. So having said that, there are still some pretty good attractions when you get here, and a lot of the actors go really hard with their presentation. The haunt starts off around 6 p.m. and they have this big weird coronation ceremony over by Meteor where this dude comes out to like this backing track and he's doing this like whole big gesture and stuff like that. It's kind of weird, it's a little cringe at times, especially when they start doing the choreographed dances and whatnot, but at the end of the day, kids park. What do you expect? Now, there's 8 haunted mazes, 3 scare zones, and 2 live performance centers, including Blood Drums, which is the one that I checked out personally, which is basically just 3 dudes banging on a bunch of different steel drums while a chick comes out and twirls a whole bunch of fire. It's really cool. It's a really cool performance, especially all the fire twirling and stuff like that. I definitely would never do something like that, so I respect anybody that would play with fire in a professional manner. Definitely cool stuff. Another weird part of the Dorney Park Halloween Haunt this year is Monster Jam Thunder Alley, where I guess it's an attraction where you get into a monster truck and they take you kind of like around in a circle, like up a bunch of big hills and stuff like that. The line for it looked ridiculous, so I didn't even bother checking it out. That's another really important thing to mention, is that there are ridiculous lines for most of the attractions when you get there. So don't expect to get all 8 haunted mazes in one night. It's kind of one of those deals where you're more encouraged to get the season pass if you want to experience everything that's at Dorney Park Halloween Haunt, because there's a lot of stuff. And some of it is cooler than others, so some of it may be worth skipping over. One thing that's cool about Dorney's Halloween Haunt too is that it doesn't really break the bank the way that going to Dorney Park on like a regular day for a general admission ticket would usually run you like, what, 60, 70 bucks or something like that. If you're showing up for the Dorney Park Halloween Haunt at like 6 o'clock, you're gonna pay 32 bucks plus whatever processing fees if you buy online or taxes if you buy at the gate. Having said that, there's also the other combo passes that they offer if you want to get meals, if you want to have like game tickets or anything like that. I personally don't do any of that extra stuff. I kind of don't expect much from any of the games at Dorney Park or any of the food there because it's kind of all overpriced amusement park crap. But if you're going there with your family, you're obviously more obligated to be getting food while you're there, so that may be helpful. There's a $37 Fright and Fast Lane, which is basically just admission to the park, and then it lets you jump the line like once or twice. I'm not sure exactly which one, but I guess that's worth it if you don't feel like waiting in all those lines. It kind of ups your chance of being able to experience everything on one night if you don't plan on coming back. As I had mentioned though, there were those 8 haunted mazes as well as the 3 scare zones that you walk through, and some of them scarier than others. If you're really scared of clowns, then Carnival is definitely gonna freak you out. There's also Steamworks, which is kind of just like this steampunk deal. It's not really scary, it's kind of just more so the steampunk aesthetic. And then there's also the Lair, which is the vampire themed little walk-through section, which if you don't feel inclined to go through, you could always just walk around. But it's kind of these nice little transitions when you're going from different haunted maze to haunted maze instead of walking through a theme park, which kind of takes you out of the element from time to time. In that sense, that's why it really doesn't compare to like a true haunted attraction, because if you're going somewhere to like Hotel of Horror in Saylorsburg, you're kind of going off the beaten path a little bit, kind of in its own little stretch in a really creepy area. You're not walking through security at a gate and, I don't know, entering this big giant amusement park that you associate with fun and smile and laughs. So it kind of fights against itself in that way. And it just seems like for all of the money that Dorney Park puts into transforming the park into the haunt, it just doesn't work in the sense that it doesn't put me in that state of mind that a true haunted attraction would if I went to somewhere that was just designated as a haunted attraction. Usually the places in Pennsylvania are pretty creepy. You're going out to some kind of farm or off the beaten path and into this like secluded dark areas. So Dorney Park doesn't really fit that description of a true haunted attraction. But as I said, it's a great place to go if you're a teenager. It's a great place to go if you have a family and you want to introduce them to haunted attractions without absolutely scaring the shit out of them. Overall, the Dorney Park Halloween Haunt is a pretty decent place to go if you want to have a good time with a nice group of people. It's a familiar atmosphere being Dorney Park if you go there regularly during the summer. It's a really, really busy place though, so be prepared for that. On any given night, there's going to be some pretty crazy lines. Sometimes you'll be waiting a little bit to get into these haunted attractions. But the workers are usually pretty good about working everyone through. I'm going to be doing some more reviews of other haunted attractions throughout the northeastern Pennsylvania area, so if you have any suggestions, definitely let me know about them in the comments below. This has been Brian Mullaney once again from the Inways Variety Channel, and happy Halloween season. See you in the next one. Later.